Hello everybody, it's Dwayne from Big Sugar Farms in our home yard and on the last of the honey pull. Once these boxes are pulled, that's it for the season. I started on this side and all these hives are down to single deep. The ones with purple bottoms, those are pollen traps. They look like two double deeps, but they're not. And I think that one there is queenless. So we'll figure that one out tomorrow or the next day. And then these ones here, a bunch of the doubles that I do. So every one of those doubles, and there's 20 in this yard, made minimum two, some made 3 nukes, and everyone produced a box of honey, and several produced 2, and a couple produced 3. That is a swarm, and all I had was mediums. That was the one that came from the cami plant. That one came from a Dorchester person who called us about 10-15 kilometers away. And these are all swarms or queen cells that I found that we turned into splits. And they are now just monsters. Probably would make some honey if I had time. They are packed. Just packed. Good problem to have, I suppose. These here are the Apame 4-ways. They've been converted down into a hive on either side. So there's a hive on this side, there's a separating piece, and then a hive on this side. So it's only 4 frames, and 4 frames each has a queen. And I'm gonna see if they overwinter. I think they will, just without any issue at all. Have to put some Apivar in there shortly for mite treatment. And there's still about 20 boxes left to come off. That was another swarm call, or rescue, I guess they call them rescues now. So I don't know how many are on there. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 24, 26 on there now. There's another 24 in the yard to pull. So another 50 boxes to spin out. There's 20 still in the shop. There's some more late season splits. I don't know, I haven't opened this one in a few weeks. Yeah, they're loaded. So that will overwinter just fine. We'll make sure it's got enough feed in it for winter time. So the colonies are looking fantastic, just fantastic. Our best season by far, honey-wise and colony health-wise, which is more important. This was a dud, and we've had, I think there was 3 duds in this yard of 40-ish colonies, so not terrible. You can see some pollen on the ground there. This one's interesting. This one's a basket case. I have to get into it. But there's a full hive set up underneath this pollen trap. I don't know if you can see it. So there's a hive with a laying queen in the box above, and there's a tiny little swarm that's come in at some point and set up shop underneath. So tomorrow will probably be the day of checking all these, the rest of them. But yeah, what a great year. 2024, our best year. It's a ton of work, but it looks like it's gonna pay off. Now it's just making sure our mite levels are where we need them to be. Every hive is getting treated. We're using Formic Pro. It's a bit controversial this late in the season, but It works for us, so that's what we do. People worry about queen loss with reason to, because it does result in some queen loss, but it also really puts the hammer down on your mite population. And if we lose a few queens, we have more than enough colonies to not really worry about it. We'll just add a queen from one of these smaller nukes, or combine them, or we'll just put a board above, double screen board, and we'll winter them above if they're a little weaker. Anyways, just thought I'd give a little report. I know it's cheating, but man, I love my big orange Kubota track steer. It saves so much work. I can get it within a few feet of most hives, and when I build my towers, I build them where I have access, and that way I can touch every box one time less than normal, and I can just put that right in my shop where the extraction equipment is. It makes a huge difference. I'm old, my back hurts, and I'm trying to be more efficient. The escapes worked really well. That's something I didn't mention. So these thin orange pieces here are bee escapes, and we come down here. This one isn't orange, but there's a bee escape. So 3 days ago on Monday, I came and I lifted off each one of these boxes, set them aside. I put this escape here, put the boxes back on, come back 2 or 3 days later, and all the bees will come down through a 2-inch hole and out these long tunnels to get down into the brood nest. It isn't 100% effective, but it is fantastic. It's very little bee blowing. The only thing you have to make sure of is that you have no holes. If you have holes, you'd be surprised how fast robber bees will come and take all your honey. Holes, cracks, missing pieces from the edges of your honey boxes happens all the time. I bought a bunch of used ones this year, and they had drilled a 3/4 inch holes in the front, and I missed one of those and caught it early enough that it didn't make any difference. But yeah, make sure you tape all your cracks and crevices, or other bees will come and take your honey. Here are the pollen traps. This one obviously has a hole. The mice are unbelievable. They will chew through stainless steel screen somehow and make holes in your screen. But there's the drawer. There's the pollen. This was emptied yesterday at noon, so that's how much they've collected in that amount of time. That's not a massive hive, so they're not collecting as much. These guys are collecting more. That's quite a bit of pollen there. And there's still a flow going on, a full flow. Nectar and pollen. It smells like a dirty gym locker in here. It is so bad. It's overpowering. When we go in the house at night, you can barely sit in the living room with the doors open because it smells so bad. These hives here usually are collecting more pollen. Yeah, there you go. So that was emptied yesterday. Very cool. Very busy. Super busy. I should clean this up. This is just on these types of lids here. These ones here are insulated, and there's too much bee space. And when there's too much bee space, they fill it with honey, and they make a mess, and those lids suck. Several are almost ready for the garbage anyways, so they keep getting out into the rotation, but they need to be retired. Too much bee space just creates a mess everywhere. there we go. I'm gonna get back to work. Guess the long story is I have 70-ish boxes left to spin, and I will be done with the honey part for the season, which I will be very, very happy about. Thanks for watching.